What if one of the most common questions about human evolution was also one of the most misunderstood? For over a century, scientists have explained how humans share a deep ancestry with apes. Yet the question lingers. If we evolved from them, why are they still here? It's a puzzle that seems simple, but hides a far more fascinating truth. This isn't just about evolution. It's about survival, adaptation, and the intricate branches of the tree of life. And the real answer takes us deep into fossil evidence, genetic research, and the hidden story of how species change over millions of years. Stay with me until the end, because the final twist reveals why the continued existence of apes is not proof against evolution, but one of its greatest confirmations. Revelation 1. The question that traps the mind. It sounds like a trick question you might hear at a dinner table or see in a viral post online. If humans evolved from apes, why are there still apes? On the surface, it feels like a gotcha. As if evolution were a single straight road where one species turns into another, leaving the original behind. But that's not how nature works. Scientists were stunned, even in the earliest days of evolutionary theory, by how much more complicated the process is. Charles Darwin himself explained that species don't just replace each other in a simple line. They branch, split, and adapt in different directions. Think of a family tree. You didn't replace your cousins, you share ancestors with them. In the same way, humans didn't replace apes. We share a common ancestor that lived millions of years ago. Revelation 2. The ancient cousin we never met. To understand this, we have to meet someone, or rather, something, that no longer exists. The last common ancestor of humans and modern apes. It lived somewhere between 5 and 7 million years ago, in the forests and grasslands of Africa. It wasn't a chimpanzee, it wasn't a gorilla, and it certainly wasn't a human. It was its own species, adapted to its own world, and over time its descendants split into separate evolutionary paths. One branch gave rise to today's chimpanzees and bonobos. Another branch, ours, began a long journey that would lead to upright walking, larger brains, tool use, and eventually space exploration. But here's the twist. Both branches kept evolving. Modern apes are just as evolved as we are. They've been changing and adapting for millions of years in their own environments. Revelation 3. Evolution is a branching river, not a ladder. For decades, school books showed evolution as a ladder, starting with primitive animals and climbing toward humans at the top. This image, while catchy, is misleading. Evolution is more like a vast river system. One stream can split into two, then into more, each finding its own way through the landscape. Some streams end in dead ends, extinction. Others continue, adapting to changes in climate, predators, and food sources. In this picture, humans and apes are like two streams flowing side by side. We both came from the same source, but we've been traveling along different paths for millions of years. And here's a sobering truth. Just because we exist today doesn't mean our stream will flow forever. Over 99% of species that have ever lived are now extinct. Survival isn't guaranteed. Not for them, not for us. Revelation 4. The survivors of Earth's trials. One reason apes still exist is because they've been remarkably good at surviving in the niches they occupy. Gorillas thrive in dense forests. Orangutans have mastered the treetops of Borneo and Sumatra. Chimpanzees are adaptable problem solvers, using sticks to fish termites from their mounds and leaves to drink water. These adaptations have kept them alive through ice ages, shifting continents, and human expansion. In fact, apes were once far more widespread. Fossil evidence shows they lived across Europe and Asia millions of years ago. Most of those species disappeared, but a few lineages made it through, clinging to survival in the forests of Africa and Southeast Asia. The fact that they're still here isn't a challenge to evolution. It's living proof of it. They're not left behind. They're perfectly adapted to their world, just as we are to ours. Revelation 5 fossil clues that solve the puzzle. Paleontologists have uncovered extraordinary fossils that help piece together this branching story. Take Australopithecus afarensis, a species that lived about 3 million years ago, famous for the skeleton nicknamed Lucy. She walked upright, yet had a small brain and long arms suited for climbing trees. Lucy wasn't an ape, but she wasn't fully human either. She was one of many intermediate forms. Proof that our evolutionary history is filled with side branches, not a single straight line. Other fossils, like Sahelanthropus tuchadensis, dated to 7 million years ago, push the timeline of our divergence from apes further back than once thought. Each discovery chips away at the myth of ape turns into human and replaces it with the truth. Humans and apes are parallel survivors of a shared origin. Revelation 6, the genetic connection we can't deny. The final undeniable proof comes from our DNA. Modern genetic analysis shows that humans share about 98.8% of our DNA with chimpanzees. That's closer than horses are to zebras. This genetic closeness confirms the fossil evidence. We didn't come from the apes alive today, but from a shared ancestor whose descendants went in two directions. In evolutionary terms, we're cousins, not parent and child. And in a strange way, our similarities make their survival even more important. Every ape species alive today carries genetic clues about our own past. Clues that could vanish forever if they go extinct. Revelation 7, the final twist. Here's where the gotcha question flips on its head. The fact that apes still exist doesn't disprove evolution. It proves it. It proves that evolution is not a straight road but a vast, branching network. It proves that survival depends on adaptation, not on replacing one species with another. And it proves that, just like us, apes are the product of millions of years of relentless change, pressure, and chance. In the end, the real question isn't why are apes still here? It's will we be? How apes could shape humanity's future. The story of humans and apes isn't just about the past. It might also hold the key to our future. Here's something most people don't realize. The study of apes is already transforming medicine, technology, and even space exploration. Primatologists, scientists who study primates, have discovered that ape immune systems react differently to certain viruses, offering clues for developing new treatments for human diseases. For example, chimpanzees rarely develop severe symptoms from viruses that can devastate humans. Understanding why could help us prevent future pandemics. In neuroscience, studying how gorillas communicate and remember could advance artificial intelligence, giving machines more human-like problem-solving abilities. And the orangutan's incredible ability to plan and build complex sleeping nests in the treetops is already inspiring new designs in robotics and sustainable architecture. The real twist? By protecting apes and their habitats, we're not just saving wildlife. We're preserving a living library of solutions to challenges we haven't even faced yet. In other words, their survival could be essential to ours. The next time someone asks, if humans evolved from apes, why are apes still here? You'll know the truth. It's not a flaw in the theory of evolution. It's one of its greatest proofs. We are cousins, not replacements, and their survival may one day ensure our own. So what do you think? Will apes still be here 1,000,000 years from now? And will we? Subscribe, like, and share your thoughts below. Oddiverse, where the unexplained meets the undeniable.